Hello friends, thank you for having me once again in your space. This is Relationship Plus with Benard Andrew. In the last couple of weeks, we've been looking at ancient secrets for successful relationship. Our focus has been on the life of Abraham, Isaac, Jacob, their wives, their children, the things they did right, the things they did wrong, and how we can better our relationship. A wise man, Winston Churchill, said, "The farther backward you look, the farther forward you'll likely go." That is one of the reasons for this, because if we can learn from history, we can change history. Yesterday, we talked about the consequences of favoritism part 2, and we saw that even though it was wrong for the brothers of Joseph to sell him into slavery, something led to their action. They felt neglected. Listen, my dear friends, fellow fathers, if by your attitude or speech you repeatedly tell a child that they are not good enough, do not expect them to perform magic in the future. Because what you imprint in them as they grow up, they will ultimately manifest when they grow up. What you imprint in them in their formative years, they will ultimately manifest when they come of age. Today we'll be looking at something a little bit different. And it is still focusing on Jacob and his children. As you may have observed, that progression from everything about Abraham, Isaac, and now we're winding down to Jacob before we look at something else. When Joseph was taken into slavery, we noticed that the first person he served was Potiphar. And between verse 1 to verse 6 of chapter 39 of Genesis, all Potiphar had to say about Joseph were good words. Joseph was so good, was so excellent, that the Bible said Potiphar left everything in his care and he didn't worry for anything, including what he ate. The only thing Joseph didn't have access to was his wife. Put it in modern day language, Joseph was top notch when it comes to management skills. Joseph was good with management. And yes, as it is our custom, would have spiritualized it that he was favored by God and God gave him all of that. My dear, he learned them from home. You'd ask me how. I'll just play it back a little. His grandfather had hundreds of slaves. Hundreds. I mean, if he had over 300 trained soldiers in his house, imagine how large his slaves are, both male and female. His great-grandfather, I beg your pardon, his grandfather Isaac had tons of slaves as well. From these people, he would have learned a thing or two on how to manage people, how to manage property. His father also had large sheep and large shepherds taking care of all of this. They learned these things from home. They never know when they would need these skills. But the time came, all he learned from home came to fore when he went into slavery. Imagine that his father was a drunk. Imagine that his father was an absentee father, at least to him. He was an absentee father to the other children, but to him, he was present. So it was easy to pass down this knowledge. Sending your children abroad to school is not enough, my dear friends. Giving them all the monies you have is not enough. There should be things you can teach your children that should make a difference in their life if the time comes. I put it to you, dear fathers, that Joseph was successful in Potiphar's house because he learned management by observing his father, Jacob, and his grandfather, Isaac. If your children leave the house today, what would you proudly say they left with? Is it just money? Or Harvard-trained qualification, or basic lessons about morals, about public relations, about attitude, about service? The ball is in your court while they are growing. The Bible said, train up a child in the way that he should go. You train up a child, not the teacher. Let these words guide you as you speak into your children's life. Thank you for your time. Thank you for subscribing, liking, and share. God bless you.